Hi everybody, and this is Alchemist 2, and welcome back to another book review. I just read Haruki Murakami's Kafka on the Shore, and this is a whole lot shorter than IQ 84, as you would probably wager. It's, if I can flip through the pages really fast here. 1 second. This is talking about his other books. Well, it's not easy to do this left-handed, but I think I can manage. It's 467 pages. And it is a very surreal, bizarre sort of book, which is a murder mystery. And you have a young man named Kafka and this old doddering simpleton named Nakata. And Nakata, it's funny that they should call him a simpleton because at the first, he can talk to cats, and he's looking for this one cat that's gone missing, and he believes that there have been instances of foul play with this cat involved because this cat hasn't returned. And Nakata isn't what he seems. That's just what is so interesting. And of course, it's like Murakami's interweaving, interlocking, overlapping storylines. It's a lot different in this one. It's more just Nakata and Kafka are just, they're drawn to each other. Of course, Kafka's name comes from Franz Kafka, and they talk about metamorphosis and the different stories that he wrote, and it has that kind of sort of bizarre vibe to it. It's a phantasmagora, I would say. That kind of, what on earth? I mean, like, what, huh? Sort of feeling. But I mean, you understand, but it's this sort of that heady feeling. And of course, music is involved. He has Schubert's D minor. I looked it up, and I know a lot about Schubert. I see why he chose that, especially D minor. And D minor, if you know anything about music theory, is one of the saddest keys in the world, the most depressing keys, and for good reason. You hear a lot of dirges played in that key for one, and it's just a very morose and macabre key signature. And then he talks about the Archduke Trio, which is another thing I thought that was very intriguing. It's just, it's neat that he uses music to paint a mood or mode or way of thinking and understanding these characters, because the music in and of itself takes upon what the characters like. It uses a lot of modern day music like Coltrane, and he did Radiohead in this one. I forget what other, I think it was the Beatles, but a lot of modern day artists. I thought, oh, that's very intriguing. I'm actually going to look inside the leaflet and see when this was written. I don't think it'll tell me. Yeah, it doesn't. It just says it's translated 2005. Yeah, copyright 2005. Because I'm sure it came out in Japan first before it was translated. Haruki, I really like Haruki's work. Haruki has a way of describing a scene in a very blunt, almost, direct way that seems, when he talks about characters engaging in sex especially, it takes upon a rigid kind of tone, and you think that's not very arousing at all. It's almost like going through the motions, or very robotic, or kind of carnal in a way. You think of, well, at least I do, I think of sex as a sacred thing, as something that's beautiful and melodic, like music, but it just comes across as just kind of getting off for getting off's sake, and there's really no emotion tied into it. It's just kind of, arbitrary. It's interesting. I thought, it really explains the characters quite well, but there were some instances of warmth, but then it came across as kind of like shameful, and the characters were thinking badly about it, and it's just such an interesting contrast, I think. But it's very intriguing that it would come across this way, because Japan, as far as I know, is a very liberal society. So why would they treat sex in that way? Makes no sense. But we're compared to Japan, we're prudes. Trust me on this. I mean, we don't go around. Well, if nobody else is around the house, I go around starker. So I don't care. I'll keep my windows closed. Nobody else can see me. I'm proud of my body, but yeah, that just kind of doesn't happen. In Europe, it wouldn't be considered unusual, but in America, we're a little bit. I am modest. I will keep my body covered, but I don't mind showing a little bit of skin, because, like I said. Anyways, it's a very interesting book, and I highly recommend it. But other than that, can't say too much else about the plot. I don't want to give away too much. If you're into Murakami, I would definitely read it. It's one of those books that it'll keep you engaged, but it's very, very, very weird, and it's like delving into the mind of Salvador Dali, I think, in a way, but still quite good and a worthwhile read and very enjoyable. I actually like IQ 84 better, honestly, but this is still very good. I love the idea of the cats and Nakata, but I won't go into why. This is just a very unique way of storytelling, I think, and I don't know if Nakata could really do what he did, or if it was something that was going on in his mind, just how he saw the world. I don't know. It's because at one point in time he says something about it, and it kind of gives it away, and I thought, well, that's inconvenient, but still kind of one of those things that makes you scratch your head. I wonder if there are any theories that have been written about this book. It just kind of makes you ponder. But that's why I like his books so much. But that's all I gotta say for now. So till next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.